If you were looking for seafood that was a little supersized, charbroiled, or extra spicy, then these fast food places used to have you covered, but not so much anymore. You can rest assured that McDonald's has not gotten rid of the Filet-O-Fish, that iconic sandwich which combines wild-caught Alaskan pollock with a slice of American cheese and tartar sauce has been a year-round staple since 1965. It may not be the most popular sandwich on the menu, but it's still a classic. But back in 1996, McDonald's made the rookie move of trying to fix what wasn't broken when the Fish Filet Deluxe was brought in to replace the Filet-O-Fish. It offered a familiar formula of tartar sauce and American cheese, but with lettuce and a bigger fish patty. This was a part of the chain's Deluxe line, which tried to push the restaurant as a place for adults and not children.
It's McDonald's with a grown-up taste.
Sadly, the Fish Filet Deluxe, along with the rest of the Deluxe line, was ultimately scrapped by the end of the decade. Customers had already pressured McDonald's into restoring the Filet-O-Fish to the menu in 1998, with the sandwich actually adopting the Deluxe version's larger patty upon its return. With complaints racking up in recent years that the Filet-O-Fish has shrunk back down in size, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if McDonald's decided to bring back its long-lost successor. Like a lot of fast food chains, Jack in the Box only pulls out the fish during Lent. In the past, their lineup included the Deluxe Fish Sandwich, an extra-thick sandwich that contained 2 panko-breaded fish fillets, tartar sauce, American cheese, lettuce, and tomatoes. Introduced in 2019, it sat alongside other seafood offerings like the classic fish sandwich, which consisted of a panko-breaded fillet with tartar sauce and lettuce. It enjoyed some pretty positive reviews during its run, with customers praising its flavor and size. But then, in 2024, Lent rolled around with no sign of the Deluxe Fish Sandwich. The classic fish version, however, did return that February, and it was joined by new fish wraps, which were available in both regular and spicy varieties. They combined wild-caught Alaskan pollock with cheddar, lettuce, tartar sauce, and pickles in a soft flour tortilla. The chain never directly addressed its departure, but fans certainly noted its absence, with one of them complaining on Reddit, "The fish sandwich that's selling now tastes exactly like McDonald's." The Whatacatch used to be a year-round menu item at Whataburger, but sadly those days are now long gone. For years, the chain offered this deep-fried wild-caught Alaskan pollock fillet with lettuce, tomato, tartar sauce, and an optional creamy pepper sauce or American cheese. But in 2022, customers started realizing that their local Whataburgers had scrapped this sandwich for good, along with a number of other menu items. The Whatacatch still makes some annual cameos at Whataburger for Lent, as does the Whatacatch platter, which combines 2 of the fish fillets with fries and tartar sauce, fish and chip style. However, the sandwich no longer has a spot on the permanent menu. While there's never been an official explanation for this decision, we can only assume that sales just weren't up to snuff. Whatever the reason, the Whatacatch is deeply missed by plenty of fans. As one of them bemoaned on social media, "They took the Whatacatch off the menu at Whataburger. Please keep me lifted in prayer." And another reminisced on Reddit, "I used to brag to people how the Whatacatch was amazing, just like how the old fish from McDonald's used to be, big and juicy." Despite what its name might lead you to believe, the whaler was not made of aquatic mammal meat and had zero connection to whaling. Instead, Burger King's OG fish sandwich was a fried fish patty served on a bun with tartar sauce and lettuce. Launched in the 1960s, the whaler was BK's direct attempt at competing with McDonald's Filet-O-Fish, and it initially made its appearance in cities with a significant Catholic population, before leveling up to becoming a nationwide fixture in the 70s. As BK proudly proclaimed in its commercials, the whaler was much bigger than the Filet-O-Fish.
The whaler doesn't get swallowed up by the bun like some others do.
You know who, yes, you know who.
Sadly, the whaler's actual reputation was never big enough to eclipse the Filet-O-Fish, leading to Burger King reformulating and renaming its offering multiple times over the years. By the 90s, it was known as the Ocean Catch, which was breaded differently and used a different bun. And if you happen to be in Europe, you might be interested to know that it's still sold as the Ocean Catch in Cyprus. Nowadays, BK offers the Big Fish, which unfortunately doesn't hit quite the same spot as the whaler for some customers. As one of them admitted on Reddit, "I still get the occasional craving for these damn things." Others have described it as the best fast food fish sandwich they've ever tried and far superior to BK's more recent ventures. Fish sandwiches are an annual tradition at Wendy's, popping up every February to ring in the Lenten season. They used to come in the form of the North Pacific Cod sandwich, which contained panko-breaded North Pacific cod, dill tartar sauce, 3 dill pickle slices, and lettuce. As the chain described it, "It's a premium sandwich so sophisticated, we only serve it for a limited time." Alas, it wasn't sophisticated enough to stick around for the long haul. In 2021, Wendy's ditched the cod and introduced its new crispy panko fish sandwich, which notably uses pollock instead of cod. This, despite the fact that in 2019, Wendy's bragged, while other QSR brands focus on pollock for its price efficiency, Wendy's has your back with a sandwich made with cod, a fish you actually recognize. While the crispy panko fish sandwich has its fans, there are plenty who miss its predecessor. Customers have noted that it was much bigger and packed with more flavor. As one lamented about the current offering on Reddit, it's very bland and a huge downgrade from the cod sandwich they had years ago. Others have ditched Wendy's Lenten offerings altogether since the switch, with another explaining on Reddit, Wendy's used to have the best fish sandwich when it was cod. I'd wait until Lent every year so I could get it again. The pollock they introduced last year or the year before was terrible, and I stopped going for it. Back in 2022, Arby's put a new spin on its Lenten menu with the spicy fish sandwich. It included the usual building blocks of an Arby's seafood sandwich, a crispy fish fillet, lettuce, and tartar sauce. Then it combined them with tomato, jalapenos, and extra seasoning to give it a kick. And we're not exaggerating about that kick part, as this was one heck of a spicy sandwich. But maybe it was too spicy to handle. Arby's Lent menu for 2024 consisted of the fish and cheddar sandwich and the King's Hawaiian Fish Deluxe sandwich, both of which are perfectly decent but lack the uniqueness of the spicy fish. Multiple spicy lovers have taken to social media to mourn their loss and try to manifest a speedy return. As one of them put it, a couple years ago they had a spicy fish sandwich and that thing was next level. Every year now I look for it and they haven't brought it back. While another declared, can Arby's bring back that spicy fish sandwich they had a little while back? It dunked all over the fish fillet. The Charbroiled Atlantic codfish sandwich is the only sandwich on this list that doesn't involve deep-fried fish. Instead, its patty was, as its name indicates, charbroiled. Launched in 2013, it received what was then the normal Hardee's treatment of being promoted by a scantily clad Sports Illustrated swimsuit model. In an ad that premiered during the Super Bowl, Nina Agdal chowed down on the sandwich on a beautiful Hawaiian beach. As the chain's former CEO, Andrew Puzder, told Entrepreneur magazine in 2015, I like our ads. I like beautiful women eating burgers in bikinis. I think it's very American. The Charbroiled Atlantic codfish sandwich was available at both Hardee's and Carl's Jr., making a few appearances on the menu during Lent. The patty was accompanied by lettuce, tomatoes, and tartar sauce, all encased in 2 sesame honey wheat buns. It was pretty popular with customers, with food blogger The Impulsive Buy praising its seasoning and tartar sauce. It inexplicably faded away after just 2 years when Hardee's brought in the Red Hook beer-battered codfish sandwich as a replacement. For those craving non-deep-fried fish, a void still remains in the fast food sphere over a decade later. Plenty of fast food fans are still mourning the KFC Snacker on a regular basis. Launched in the mid-2000s, it was a fried chicken sandwich with shredded lettuce and pepper mayonnaise that cost just 99 cents and scored record-breaking sales. Slightly less popular, though still extremely popular, was its fish equivalent, which launched in 2007 and swapped out the chicken and mayo for Alaskan pollock and tartar sauce, just in time for Lent. Perhaps the most famous detail about the fish snacker was that KFC decided to ask Pope Benedict XVI for his blessing of the sandwich. While the Vatican confirmed that it had indeed received KFC's request, there was never an official update on whether or not the blessing actually happened. Papal approval or lack thereof aside, the fish snacker benefited from the same perks as the regular snacker. It was affordable, tasty, and much less messy to eat than your average fast food offering. Regardless, KFC still made the inexplicable decision to axe the snacker line in 2012, leaving fans so bereft that they're still petitioning KFC for their returns over a decade later.
You now have 5 seconds to comply.
Popeyes Catfish Po' Boy was an offshoot of a popular chicken sandwich. While the chain's standard po' boy consisted of fried chicken tenders, lettuce, and mayo, the catfish version utilized 2 Cajun seasoned breaded catfish fillets and sandwiched them in a French roll with lettuce, a few slices of pickles, and tartar sauce. It was quite hefty and also quite delicious. However, just like the chicken po' boy, it met its end in the late 2010s when Popeyes decided to discontinue the po' boy line for good. The chain now offers the flounder fish sandwich, which consists of an Alaskan flounder fillet that's marinated and breaded similarly to the chicken sandwich. It's good enough that we wish it was offered year-round. Nevertheless, the Catfish Po' Boy's absence is still deeply felt. As one fan recently admitted, I had a dream about the Popeyes catfish I had back in 2007 last night. And another said it best by revealing, I act like everything's okay, but deep down inside, I wish Popeyes would bring back po' boys and catfish. Clearly, the fast food world won't be set right until things go back to being as fishy as they used to be.
I wonder where that fish did go. A fish, a fish, a fishy, oh!